Hey everybody, it's tequila time, and we got some new bottles. Of course, not supposed to be spending money on tequila, but so the video for today will be over Volans. I got two new bottles. I've had these before, but these are I probably haven't bought any other than the Volans Añejo and Extra Añejo recently to renew. So one of my favorite reposados, of course, is Volans Repo. They're single barrel versions. Oh my, they are so good. And then the other day I picked up a Blanco to complete the set. So we're going to crack these open tonight, on this podcast. Whatever you want to call it. But those were the other day. This is today. And I found something the other day that I was very interested in. So if you watch my channel, I got a bottle of Booker's bourbon that was finished in El Tesoro casks. It was really delicious for a bourbon, it's a tequila show. But let's back up. El Tesoro did their 85th anniversary in Booker, aged it in Booker's bourbon barrels. Then when they dumped those bourbon barrels, dumped the tequila for the Extra Añejo for the 85th anniversary, they sent the barrels back to Booker's. And then Booker's filled it with I'm going to say an off mash bill from the regular Booker's mash bill, and finished that in those tequila barrels. And the tequila was actually coming through. So in my collection of bottles, here, there, and everywhere, this is not a first for me, but I've had these before. I've drank them. This is one of the two Widow Jane Reposados that I have. Let's make it straight. So I have two of these, and they're both unopened. And I've been searching for about 3 years to find an actual Añejo. And I've purchased it. It's supposed to be delivered on Friday. So I'm going to wait to do a video on what I purchased today. I'm going to open a bottle of the Repo. I have two of those. I only have one Añejo. We're going to save that for a special. But what I picked up today is, turn this the right way, Widow Jane, 10-year, and it's got a Tequila Ocho cask finish. So regular 10-year, then they put it in the Tequila Ocho barrels. Wonder which ones. And we're gonna do a video on this. And we're gonna open up a bottle. One of the bottles of Repo. Open this up, pour them side by side, and we're gonna go back and forth between the two. That will probably be next week. Not going to say that this bottle won't have some taken out of it by next week. But that's my plan, Stan. And I'm sticking to it. So, let's bottle the bottle. I've been wanting to drink today. So, we're going to drink. And we're going to start with the Volans Blanco. Volans is made at El Pandillo, where G4 is made, and it has been one of my favorites since I really started getting into tequila. It's a blend of all three waters that he has, that Felipe Camarena has at El Pandillo, and it's slow cooked. Felipe Stein, Tohono crushed, and it's of course the Blanco, not aged. I don't even think it's barrel rested, but always been one of my favorites. So let's pour a little here. Ooh, wow. So let's do a little read on the back of the bottle while we're waiting on some other stuff. Stone and brick oven cooked. Mechanical Tahona, Felipe Stein. And then open air fermentation. Stainless steel tanks distilled in copper pot stills. Destilia El Pendio, Jesus Maria, and yep, 80 proof. So really, really, really nice and clear tequila. Beautiful, beautiful bottle. I'll think of the owner's names here sooner or later. I'm sorry. Yeah. But wow. All right, right out of the bottle on the nose. You're getting loads of the cooked agave. And I'm getting a really nice vegetal note. This is a Highlands tequila. That's really, really nice. Oh, this is first sip of the day. We're going to let this air just a little bit more. Let's see if I can get the tears rolling down the glass. There we go. Look at that. That's nice. I get kind of and I say vegetal, like a celery note. Let's give her a first sip of the day. That's nice. That's got a really nice mouthfeel. It's not. It's just a glare. It's not a real. Kind of. My mind went blank for a minute. Oh no. It's a little pepper on the back end. Of course, that's first sip. Got a really good cooked agave flavor to it. We're going to go in for a second. Now that the tingling's gone away. Wow. That is so good. Again, I got a little bit of a floral note. It's a really, really good Blanco. It's clean. You get a little salinity into it, a little minerality type thing. But I mean, it is a good. I don't want to call it a blank canvas because it's not. It's got the cooked agave. It's got the vegetal note to it. I'm not detecting any major fruits though. Of course, depending on what time of year, there may not be fruits around. I'm sure, and then with open air fermentation, it could be just about anything. I'm getting a hint of a lime citrus, a lime zest on the nose. This is really, really good. This would be a great introductory tequila for somebody who's not really into a really bold flavored tequila. Something that might be a little more complex. This is plenty complex, but not overly. That's just nice. I can't explain it any more than that. Said Volans was one of the first ones that the Agave Social Club did a Zoom with, and I mean, you got T-shirts and we got hats and we got all of the kinds of junk, and really had a great time with them. I don't think I have any. I've taken them all to the lake, but I got a flask and I got some other stuff, and it's just really nice. Shoot. I can't remember the owner's names. That's okay. But you can look it up on Agave Matchmaker, get all the real details. Somebody with a better tasting and aroma profile from some of those more celebrated experts. Just not me. Sometimes I do pretty good. Today's not such a good day. But I'm getting some nice notes. I'm not getting anything off-putting. What's funny is I get kind of like, I don't want to call it pine salt, it's pine on the nose. And that then turns into more of a cooked agave smell, or an agave smell. Maybe that's raw agave, maybe that's what it's giving me that smell. On the front of the palate, it's sweet. Cooked agave sweet. That stuff's made out of this junk. This is artisanal pure agave syrup. This is what comes out of the oven. All those cooked agaves are. And that, my friends, is what I am smelling. Let's give it a little taste. Yep. This Respecto, you can find this at Sip Tequila, and you can actually find it online. This is a Grover Sanzagrin product. Grover from Agave Matchmaker makes this. And that is really good stuff. Oh my goodness. So, let's finish off our little Blanco here. That's kind of tasty. Okay. So we did the Blanco, and on a Blanco on the scale from 1 to 100, that's a solid 80. I mean, it's not overly complex, though being complex. Because there's a lot there to break down. I'd come back to that in a couple of days and not being a neck pour, and probably get a really good, a little better feel for what the flavor profile is. And so do that, and then we're going to open this Reposado here as soon as I can. I cut my fingernails off. I ain't got nothing to grip with. There we go. Maybe. I've got to find me some music to play while we're sitting here sipping along and not get dinged on by the YouTube police. No big deal. I'm not monetized anyway. So try to get some money out of you on that one. But okay. So this is the, oh, come on, man. This is the Reposado. Don't look at my arm. It's poison ivy. Oh, without brush hogging, without a long sleeve shirt on. My problem. So, Reposado, 80 proof. Like anything from Carlos, that's his brother. From Felipe Camarena and from Carlos. Barrels are not meant to change, to influence the color of the tequila. Though they do. But if it does, it's supposed to be light. So they use well-used barrels till they want to get a specific color. So Volans, though, tends to pick their own barrels, sometimes from ones that Felipe provides or suggests that, for use. Sometimes like that Añejo, it used German, French oak, and American oak barrels and blended them together, which is why it's actually darker than the extra Añejo. Don't ask me. They're both really good, and they're definitely not exactly like the extra Añejo has loads of flavor and aromas and complexity to it that just every time you go back, there's something new. But one of the first reposados that I tried in general was Volans Repo. And let's pour a little bit up in the glass, and then we'll give it a smell and a taste. So it's got a very light color in the glass, almost clear, but it's not. It's got a nice little, if you look at it in the bottle, it's got a nice little straw color to it. So, I mean, really, really good quality tequila. One of those things that, you can't go wrong with Volans. It's a little pricier than some, but again, it's 100% agave. It's no additives, spring water, rainwater, deep well water, all blended together. And then well used American oak barrels. Like I said, some of the barrels, when they do single barrels, especially for the reposado, I had one that was done in I believe it was Heaven Hill barrels. It was a private barrel, one of the local liquor stores had done here in the Kansas City area, and it was really, really good. Let's give her a sip. Wow. Right on the tongue. A nice, rich caramel with the cooked agave. And then you're getting a little bit of the baking spices from the whiskey barrel. That really, wow. For such a light color, you would not expect that. On the nose, you're getting some nutmeg. You're getting the cooked agave. You're getting like baking spice sweetness. I'm not going to call it cinnamon. It's not that strong. But wow. Mouthfeel went from not being thin from the Blanco, being substantially adequate. As soon as you add a little bit of that barrel to it and some of the evaporation that happens to it, the mouthfeel got thicker and was spread very quickly and clinging to the inside of my mouth. This is why it was one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite reposados. It's just so silky inside the mouth. It's kind of buttery. And I'm trying to use as many adjectives as possible because, I mean, it is just a really, really high quality tequila that I enjoy. I almost had the name in my head. So those of you that know, Volans, started by a couple that lived up in Nebraska. They had a fly fishing. His family had a fly fishing ranch up there. And, of course, they're living down closer to the border now so they can concentrate on their tequila. But, wow. Amazes me. I can't remember the name. But it doesn't matter. This is just, they and Felipe are making some really, really, really good tequila, and this is a must buy for, if you're looking for moderately priced, and I mean by moderate, not cheap, not inexpensive, moderately priced Reposado, Blanco, Añejo, Extra Añejo. Extra Añejo is going to be a little pricey. I mean, all Extra Añejos are. All Añejos are going to be, closer to that $100 mark. But, they're all going to float around there. But, 40 to 60 for these two bottles, each for these two bottles, somewhere in that neighborhood, that's about the going price for a really good bottle of tequila. That's 80 proof, and is this tasty. I can't do these bottles straight anytime I do them. It's crazy. Let's put these in here. So the Volans Blanco and the Reposado, these are must buys. I mean, if you're looking for something, these are great ones to go get. Like I said, they're not overly peppery. They're not higher, they're not 90 proof. They're not 100 proof. They're 80 proof. They're easily approachable. And I think, especially if you're starting out, these are great ones to start with. There's no slap in your face, super strong or high, of flavors that just things mask this. The alcohol aromas are not there. We know the alcohol's there. That's what makes our tongue tingle. And but the flavors overall, wow. Especially on the Repo. And if you know me, I am a Repo guy. I mean, you see I've got a lot of stuff up there, but half of my Cascaweens are all Reposados. I got one Extra Añejo, one Añejo. Actually, it's the same one, but it's in two different bottles. But but the rest of them, except for the couple of Blancos, which for here in Kansas City in the U.S., Blancos from Cascaween are easier to get. The Tahona, the Plata 48, But if you look, my only Gran Reserva Tequilino is a Reposado. Primo is an example. One's a Blanco, one's a Repo. My Cascanes. I have a Joven and then a Rosa Reposado behind it. I've got more Reposados in Ocho than I have in probably anything else. And then of course I've got Reposados from Fortaleza, up there in the corner. And it is my favorite. Why I am needing to buy more bottles. Find me some more bottles. But I think my Arete, I'm pretty sure. It's a Reposado. One of my favorite Zumbadors is a Reposado. My favorite Cultura 100s are Reposados. I like the light touch that Reposados do to the Blanco tequila. They soften it a little bit. They give a little bit of that barrel influence. And I think it I'm not going to say that it improves the flavor, but it changes it just enough to make it, in my opinion only, better. But that's because I like that light oak influence from the barrel in the tequila. I do like my Blancos. I have loads of Blancos. And that's where that, you have to go back to see where does the Reposado and the Añejo and Extra come from originally. If you can't make a good Blanco, the rest of the stuff down the line is not going to matter. And if you can't make a good Blanco, then why are you in the tequila business? Well, so I'm going to add additives to it to make it taste better and feel better and mouthfeel and blah, 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 blah. But we're not into that. We are not into that here. So, wow. So, I'm going to close this out. We're done. Because I can't think. Oh. Mary Carmen is tomorrow. This is, we're Wednesday. Tomorrow, the 13th of August. Mary Carmen is having a Zoom. Check out her Facebook channel and her Instagram. and you'll get a link to the Zoom call. She's going to do a Zoom with Manuscrito, all the owners, and the master distiller. So please come join us. I will be there. And then a week from Thursday, the Kansas City Tequila Hunters is having their open bottle share at Old Shiny Pizza. And I will be there, but I might a little late. I've got a meeting at home right after I get off work, and then so I'm not going from work to Shiny Pizza. I'm coming here first. So, and then driving all the way out to Old Shiny Pizza in Lenexa. I've got a couple bottles intending on bringing, possibly an open one. And so, I mean, just to come have some fun and get to try some tequilas, learn a little bit. Thursdays is 20% off tequila night on flights and mixed drinks that have tequila in them. And come join us, have a little pizza, have a sandwich, have some pasta, have something, just maybe an appetizer, and come sample a little bit with us and have a really nice evening of just learning a little bit about some tequila. These 2 bottles of Volans will be coming. I might even bring the extra añejo if you want to sample it. I'll probably leave it in the bag. That price, you gotta be nice to me. But no. I've got some stuff I don't want to bring. That would be the gist of most of it. But I'll bring something else to sample. Maybe. Might bring some Casquine Reposado. You never know. Got some of that up there too. It's right there next to the Tres Generones Snowmobile batch, which is made by Casquine. That's Salsa. So anyway, be good to your tequila. It'll be good to you. Salute, my friends. Until I see you next time. Adios.